Try this manifestation technique if you want instant results. Now, I've tried every manifestation technique under the sun, honestly, but this one was different. This one happened the most intense and powerful and fast, so I'm here to share it with you too. This was a combination, okay? This was a combination of the 369 method, also scripting, and the law of assumption. So what I was manifesting at the time was 30,000 followers, and my TikTok growth went a bit like stagnant, so I was like, okay, I want to keep it going again. So I tried this method, and this is exactly what I wrote down. I wrote 3 times of what I was manifesting like it was already done. Then I wrote 6 times of why I was manifesting, and then 9 times of how it made me feel on the end. This worked because of my aligned action, the intention, and the knowing that it was already done.
The universe always gives you exactly what you ask for if you ask with conviction. Let me explain what I mean. We are constantly creating with the universe. The universe is us and we are it. Somebody gave me a Neville Goddard quote the other day that said everything is you pushed out. The universe literally mirrors us and we mirror the universe. It's like this crazy concept that once you realize it, it's so true. So conviction is the most important part when you're trying to manifest something or attract something into your mirror. This is why you get people who get frustrated with manifestation because they say, oh, I want to manifest my dream car. I want my dream car. And then it just doesn't show up. And the reason why is because they are not asking with conviction. So I'm going to give you a little diagram so you can understand what I mean by asking with conviction. So first of all, what is conviction? Conviction equals knowing. So knowing is made up of 3 things. 1, you have to believe it will happen. 2, you have to expect it will happen. 3, you have to have seen it happen before. So conviction is knowing, and knowing is made up of belief, expectation, examples from the past. So I'm going to give you an example of someone who's asking without conviction and someone who's asking with conviction. Also, side note, knowing doesn't mean it's true. It just means that's what you know. Okay, so here's the request. I want the perfect partner. This is without conviction, and here's you. And this is your sphere of knowing. I'm going to put knowing in quotation marks because, again, it doesn't mean it's true. Here is all of your knowing. You are trying to reach this goal without the conviction of having seen it happen before, expecting that it will happen, and believing that it is possible. In your sphere of knowing, you have beliefs like all relationships fail. You have no examples of real life, so you haven't seen it happen before. You have a belief that there is no such thing as perfect, etc. There is too much space in between your knowing for you to reach your goal. Here's someone who is asking with conviction. They say, I want the perfect partner. They've seen their friends in happy relationships. They know that the right person is out there. They believe that they'll find them. Of course they will. They believe in happy relationships. They have high self-esteem. And there is little to no space they need to breach to get to their goal. Do you believe in what you're asking for? Do you expect it will happen? And have you seen it happen before? Why I want you to start focusing on patterns instead of trying to manifest specific things. Hear me out before you're like, but I want it. You'll get it. Just wait. By the way, you spoke, I heard. We're doing diagrams now. What I mean when I say patterns are things that happen over and over again in your life. If you keep dating certain types of people that aren't really a good fit for you, what I mean by that is horrible. If you are really bad with money, this is especially true if you notice patterns in your family. If alcoholism is a pattern in your family, maybe look into that. Look into what you see your parents, grandparents, aunts, and uncles struggling with and see if it reflects in any way in you. And if the actual issue doesn't reflect in you, then does the energy behind the issue reflect in you? For instance, if you're not an alcoholic, are you very uncomfortable with your emotions when they come up, so you immediately reach for a way to numb? Okay, diagram time. The reason I say to not focus on specific things is because your patterns point towards your greatest rewards in manifestation. Here is you. Aww. And here is what you are manifesting. I want a promotion. I want a mansion. That's you. And here's what you're manifesting. That's what you're asking for. Here's the thing though. Here's God or the universe. Ignore my little scribble. It's also karma. This awesome entity has given you these to work with in this lifetime. These are beliefs, expectations, and past examples of your life. This is patterns like you always get cheated on, your family can't regulate their emotions for some reason even though they're not mentally ill, and your mom and you somehow are bad with money. You're down here, kind of like sometimes oblivious to all this going on up there. So you want the mansion and the promotion, but here's the thing. If you focus on your patterns, they usually give you the best feeling rewards because they are things that have nagged at you for most of your life. So you break through. You never get cheated on now. You know your worth. You learn the financial skills. You learn emotional self-regulation skills. Once you do that work, your self-esteem levels up. And then you get that. Today we're talking about the function of self-sabotage. Let's paint a little picture. You've been doing great. You're doing well at work, you're saving up money, you're working out. Then all of a sudden, a little voice kicks in the back of your head that goes, time to cause mischief. You start to fuck it up and you're like, what's going on? Why am I doing this? Well, I personally wouldn't know anything about self-sabotage. If I did know something, I would explain it in this way. Before I get started, hi, I'm Jackie. I'm a manifestation coach. If you want to book a session with me or grab one of my workbooks, you can go to my website, hoodwinkler.com. So for all intent and purposes, let's call this first stage the perfection cycle. So you're working out, you're eating right, you have a good spiritual practice, you're saving money, whatever being good looks like for you. The issue that arises with this is you need to understand the function of why you are in this perfection cycle. So there are sustainable functions and there are unsustainable functions. A sustainable one would be enjoyment. You actually enjoy doing all of these things. And there are unsustainable functions like fear. This looks like, oh, I'm saving up my money, not because I like saving up money, but because I am terrified that if I don't, I'm gonna be fucked up. Or, oh, I'm not working out because I actually want to be healthy, but I'm working out because I'm terrified of looking a certain way. Another unsustainable one is proving your goodness because you feel inherently bad. So you're doing all of these things not because you enjoy them, but because you need to prove to the world and to yourself that you are a good person. And these two are exhausting. So what happens next is really interesting. There's probably a part of you that is relaxed, fun-loving, potentially a little rowdy, maybe just a human part of you that enjoys enjoyment. And since the perfectionist part of you has deemed that part unacceptable, it kicks in with full volume. This is the rage against the machine part. So this part of you that likes rest and relaxation is a little wild, uninhibited, fun, creative, has been so suppressed by this part, the perfectionist voice, that it turns into this guy. That essentially exerts influence over all of these good things that you've created and crushes them. In order to restore balance. So instead of swinging from the high perfectionist point of everything has to be perfect to the low point of I just want to fuck it all up, listen to the part of you that likes to have fun and relax before it gets nuts. And I want you to know, baby, no one compares, you stand alone.
So I decided to start viewing my 20s less as a waiting room and more as a dressing room. The waiting room analogy to me was like waiting for life to happen to me. A dressing room, you have more agency. You get to pick what you want to try on. You can try on jobs, partners, cities, friendships, etc. And you can choose to leave behind whatever doesn't fit you right.
Or in a state of, oh my God, I'm going to be so screwed, so damaged, so sad or hurt if I do not get this desire that I want. That's when all of your power, all of your magnetism is going out. What you need to do is redirect that back inside. And how I do this is understanding that, you know what, if I don't get this job, if I don't get this car, I'm going to be okay. Yeah, my life might be more difficult, but I'm going to be living and breathing. I'm going to be okay. And once you realize that you're still going to be living and breathing without this material object, or that you don't need something else outside of you to meet your needs. I'm not talking basic human needs, I'm talking like extra shit. So essentially my process looks like letting go of the need for it. You don't have to let go of the desire, but letting go of the need. I need to check off these boxes in order to be happy. Let go of that. And the second thing is acting as if. But you have to do both. It's like you have to let go of the need instead of letting go of the desire, and also having conviction, which I've talked about before, but I deleted because the video was a disaster. which is believing that it will happen. This has to do with your self-worth, your beliefs about if you can actually have what you want, like how much you deserve it, etc. Expecting that it will happen. Will I get the car? Of course I'll get the fucking car. And having seen it happen before. So this is like you see it in other people, you find inspirational people who inspire you, who've gotten the manifestation that you want. You recognize that you've manifested things in the past, so why couldn't you manifest this now? Woke up feeling Shania Twain today. Let's go, girl. I want to talk about things that I've manifested. A lot of manifestors do that thing where they're like, let me teach you how to manifest, but then they don't talk about what they've manifested. So the first thing that I've manifested is good mental health. That was the thing that I wanted the most in my life, was to be peaceful and happy. I grew up in a situation where I felt like I would never find peace or happiness. I thought I would not make it past 40. Life was chaos after chaos, trauma after trauma. It just didn't feel worth living, honestly. And I wanted more than anything just to be happy. And I've manifested happiness. Not happiness per se, but self-acceptance. And through that, just acceptance of my situations. And I feel more comfortable with myself than I ever have been before. The second thing I manifested is a glow up. This is me 1 year ago. Dyeing my hair blonde for the person that I was with, carrying extra weight for the person that I was with because he liked curvy girl. You get the gist. And here's me now. Loud and proud, babies. Powerful. In my worth, having fun, loving life. As far as material things go, I have manifested a 4-door Jeep Wrangler Sahara Unlimited. I was way over my budget, and somehow it all worked out. That was fun while it lasted. I have manifested letting go of an ex that I just could not let go of for some reason. This was a huge karmic pattern cycle breaker, and it felt really good to let him go. I have manifested quitting smoking after smoking on and off for about 12 years. I have manifested free car repairs, upgrades to exclusive suites at hotels, learning how to be in charge of my finances. I spent most of my life terrified to look at my bank account. If I had money, it was burning a hole in my pocket. And now through just manifestation practices, I have money saved. I know where I'm spending my money. I feel like I've leveled up so much in that area. I have money invested. I have mostly used manifestation practices to level up things that I felt I was like lacking control of in my life, like mental health, finances, letting go of people. But I've also manifested material things, so you can do both.